Hey church, Pastor Chris here. You know, there's so much going on in the world lately, and I just wanted to encourage you right now. The past few days have been rainy in Williams Lake. There's been some downpours I would not want to get caught in, and thunder. Thunder. Is that scary or is that fun? Depends on if you're somewhere safe and if you've got your stuff safely under cover. I love a good thunder show. Power is an amazing thing if you feel safe. Power is a terrifying thing if you feel vulnerable. And that is what the world is dealing with right now. So, how do thunderstorms make you feel? What's your relationship with the storms? Now, I'm going to ask you this question to follow up. What is your relationship with God? There's a couple of big questions that somebody asked me some years ago that help define your relationship with God. And the first question is this: when you think about God, how do you feel? A lot of people think about God and they feel the same way they do when they think about a teacher or an employer or an angry judge or a distant and critical parent. That's how they feel, but they don't feel the same way when they think about their friends. And the second question is, when God thinks about you, how does he feel? And a lot of people, again, they don't think that God has warm thoughts about them at all. Mostly people think that God feels rather indifferent toward them, or for a lot of us, when we think about God, one word comes to mind, and that is disappointed. Ugh, why couldn't you have gotten it right by now? Is how a lot of us think that God feels about us. But have you ever considered that the God who made the universe, who made thunder and lightning, wants the nature of your relationship with him to be delight, mutual delight? You know, he's not tame or safe or small enough that you can contain him and delight in him like you would in a baby kitten. Oh no, he made the world, and one day he'll judge the world. He will pour out his powerful wrath on those who have rejected him. And that will be a scary day. In fact, in Revelation, it describes God as, from the throne came flashes of lightning and rumblings and peals of thunder, way more horsepower than you could ever tame. But even with all that power, God wants you to delight in him. The Psalms say, take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. And God wants to delight in you. Psalm 149 says, for the Lord takes delight in his people. He crowns the humble with victory. Friends, whether you are hard-pressed, whether you are depressed, or whether you are oppressed, that is good news. The Lord takes delight in his people. He crowns the humble with victory. And even when he has to get our attention, as he sometimes does with his discipline in our lives, he does it not because he loves to punish, but because he wants to help us refocus and make him our delight, because he delights in us. Proverbs chapter 3 says, my son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke, because the Lord disciplines those he loves. As a father, the son he delights in. I was challenged recently to think about times when I experience God as a friend I delight in. And honestly, I can lose sight of that way too easily. I can start to see God as my employer, that I need to work hard and try to please and figure out what he wants me to do. Or I can see God as a powerful connection in a high place that can help me out of a tough spot. But I can stop seeing God as a friend. I can lose track of the fact that there is pure delight in a relationship with him. He's fun to be with. He loves me, and he loves to be with me. Jesus doesn't just want to be admired or feared from a distance. He wants to be your friend. He took the sting of your sin. He took the thunder of God's wrath. The righteous for the unrighteous, the Bible tells us. Why? To bring us close. So delight in him, because he delights in you. Zephaniah 3:17 is a beautiful verse that puts it like this: the Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He uses his power to save. He will take great delight in you. In his love, he will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing. When God sings a tune, he's singing a song about you. So delight in him. Well, that's all for now. I'll talk to you again real soon. Pray hard, pray often. I'm praying for you. I'll talk to you again.